Oh, thank you so much. That would be horrible. I should always check my audio. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, I'm React. Okay, React 19 was released yesterday, and Impact was using this Preact hack for automatic observation in components. Originally, it used a different approach called explicit resource management, which I think is the way we really need to do observation in React. Uh, but having that Preact hack was very appealing because you didn't need to think about observation at all. The only change that we need to make in terms of consumption of Impact mm, is that when you're consuming these stores, you have to use the using keyword. That's the only difference. So what we're gonna do is make this work. And the way we're gonna make this work is by first we can just drop this hack. Let's see. And we're not gonna have any of this crazy stuff. None of that. Not the React dispatcher. Oh yeah, by the way, I have my I have my laptop downstairs active on the same branch. That's why I'm popping in here. Let's see. Another thing that we need to do is that when we create a store, it will let's see, use store t let's see, store. So T needs to extend a record of string and unknown. So this is something I've also was a little bit like, how will you define these stores? But in experience, you always define the stores returning an object, and we need to return an object or a class instance for this observability to work. But that's fine. That's completely fine. Let's see. Like that, I think. Oh, it's leaking all over the place. There we go. Now we have the same here. Extends. I could have an explicit, explicit type for that, but let's not worry about that. Because what we need to do is, here we have this observer, and what we need to do now is when we consume. So on consume. Oh, wait, where did I go? On consume. So this is where we are consuming. So now we're just going to call observer here instead. And that should be fine. Because observer doesn't really return anything. And then we have, let's say, on consumed. Oh, that was part of the stuff I removed. Let's see, on consumed. Oh, sorry. That's in here. No. Sorry. That's in here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So wait, we do need to return, let's see, on consume observer. So when we let's see. If not is consuming. Yeah, so we don't, let's remove the component consumption hooks. These don't matter anymore. So things actually gets cleaner, much cleaner. But yeah, you have to use the using keyword. I'll explain why in a second. But the observer needs to return the observer context, because we need to do something with that observer context. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, we're gonna change the implementation a little bit, but let's keep the observer context here. And then we have our resolved store here. If no store container. Wait a minute. So if no store container. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I think we're gonna do let resolved store like this, and then we're gonna say resolved store. We're not gonna return here. We're rather gonna do an else. So if store container, and then do an else, and then we're gonna say resolved store equals this, and then we're gonna return resolved store. And what we're gonna do is what are you complaining about? Resolved store. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna enhance this store. And so resolved store, yeah, returns any. I think we can actually say that it returns. That's kind of funny. Why does it say any? It should be a record of string unknown. That's interesting. Where were we? Where were we? Oh, maybe because I need record of string unknown. And what's currently happening now is that in the observer, we create this observer context. And in the observer context, we use symbol dispose. But here we can change it. So we can say, let's just move it for now. That's in signal. So what I thought we'd do is that we're actually gonna t extend. What are you complaining about? Yeah, but this, oh, sorry. So this is, sorry, this should be t. So what we're gonna do is that we know that this is a record string unknown now. Like, it doesn't matter internally, but we are gonna wrap this in a proxy. So we're gonna create a new proxy. So we don't want this to be intrusive, right? So when we do a get here on the proxy, so this proxy is nothing, and this is also important. You won't see this proxy. You'll never access the proxy itself unless you actually like console log the store. But that's not something you would typically do. You would console log something from the store. So unlike MobX, for example, which also uses proxies, you have proxies around the actual values in whatever store abstraction you have. But that's not the case here. The values are just values. But the store itself will be returned as a proxy. Like, what I could do here to avoid that, maybe we should try that first. By the way, I can remove this. What we can do first, we don't have to use a proxy, what we can do is, if we want to force like an object to be returned, what we can do is actually just do result store, and then we're going to add that. That's one way of doing it. Does signal import from here? Yeah, I'm a little bit unsure about this because I have like this thing is importing from this thing and the other thing is importing. But I think that's fine in the sense that what was it? Observer context. I think that's fine because we don't actually access anything until like runtime, like when things actually execute, like from the functions. So it shouldn't have any problems with that. Anyways, so this is possible to do. But then if you were to return an actual class instance from a store, then this wouldn't work. But like the whole point is to not change paradigms. Like you should feel like you're writing React code using Impact or hook code. So I think this is fine. So whenever you consume a store, we just create a copy of it. We could also attach the symbol directly to the result store, because it will always be consumed. It will always be consumed immediately. Nothing. This is synchronous, so this will be consumed by the component that consumes the store. So that's a guarantee, but still we're kind of littering the store object with something it doesn't care about. So I think it makes more sense to make a copy of it. And this is kind of the whole thing with React. It's like everything's a copy. So I think maybe we'll try to do that. And yeah, we don't actually need the observer context. We just need to observe. Sorry. Because calling observer, let's rename this to observe. This will push you know what, it feels a bit better if I rather return the context. Yeah, let's do that. Observer context, and then in the in here, observer context, where are you? Observer context. We are actually gonna bring back kind of this thing, but we're gonna put it behind an actual method. So let's just call it pop. So we'll pop the observer context, but we'll do observer context dot pop here instead. And this symbol dispose, this is the explicit resource management. So what's gonna happen here now, I hope, is that when using like this, so when we are, oh, that sucks. I didn't know that. No. I didn't know you couldn't. That sucks. I didn't know that. That is certainly a restriction. It's not a huge deal. It can actually be a good thing because you might be using multiple stores in the components. It's nice to be explicit about that. But I wasn't aware of that. Oh, yeah. So another thing we need to do, but there's absolutely no way around this. So I'm not even gonna entertain the the idea that so this is interesting. Like, so when you consume a store from a store, we don't need this symbol dispose. We really only need that in components. But maybe we can say, okay, we're going to change this a little bit. So we're going to say result store like so. And then we're going to say if active stores container do this thing, else do this other thing. And then we're going to say let's see. Oops. Sorry. Result store equals that thing. And then we're gonna say this is just to please the typing, but it's a nice thing to you know what? We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do what we did. But we are gonna do this and put symbol in there, but we're gonna rather say console.warn. There is no need to use using in stores. So if you were to use using, so you're in a store here and you consume a different store and you would use using, now you get a warning about that because you don't need to. Why are you complaining? It's missing. Did I just fix that? Oh, did I actually? Wait, did I? So use store T and symbol dispose. I think it's just not updated. Am I running? So this is the thing, like having VS Code, actual VS Code in here has benefits, but it also has drawbacks. So like I have a hard time figuring out what the hell I'm running. Like previously I had like this really nice overview of my tasks, but now they're like hidden. So oh, or do I have them over? Oh, does not exist on observer context. Oh, that's from the actual dev. I think we just need to build it. Impact React build. Can't be used to index type. Where's this coming from? Signal. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. So now we don't have to do this. We can just do signal pop. There we go. I guess that was the issue. Oh, we have another one. Context.pop. There we go. Now you should be happy. Yeah. Okay. Now the only thing now is it actually, does it actually have explicit resource control? So what actually happens here is that there's a new feature of TypeScript and also JavaScript. I think it's still in, I'm not sure what the state of this is. JS explicit resource management, not control, but management. So it's in. Does it have a state here? Proposal. It's still in a proposal stage. There, stage 3. I can't remember what stage 3 is, but it's like it's coming. Let's see. And the point of this is that when you consume an object in a function that has symbol dispose as a property, which is a special symbol, that method, a symbol dispose should be a method. That method will be called when that object drops out of scope of the function. So whenever an object with symbol dispose method on it is no longer is no longer referenceable, or how should I put this? Whenever this scope of this function has an object in it that has a symbol dispose property on it, that symbol dispose will be called when the function scope exits. So basically what this does for observation is that when we consume a store, we start an observer context, and when that observer context or when the component when the component function exits, that observer context is called, so that it's like popped off the stack of observation. That's the beauty of it. And it's really important because having higher order components to do observation is really shitty. It really affects how you write your components and how you structure them. The only thing you have to do now is you have to use the using term. And what I think we can also what we can also do here in development is that we can make sure to warn you if you're not using the using. So basically, if the context has not been called or the disposer has not been called, you'll get an error that you aren't using the using keyword. So we need to implement that as well, but I want to see if this actually works. And I can't remember which version of TypeScript I'm using here. 5.3.3, yeah, it came in 5.2. And then the question is, does the Vite, I don't think the Vite config actually has this stuff. So how do I open? So this is also kind of annoying. I think it's the correct move to have VS Code in here, but it's like I have to adjust. There we go. So yeah, explicit resource management isn't currently enabled. Vite React Bubble. And I wonder if there's been any changes to this. Vite React Bubble. It's unlikely you want to use a plugin that only enables Bubble to parse its syntax. Instead, use plugin to both parse and transform the syntax. So, so this is the drawback. It's like you need to add this step. But that's not uncommon for developers to have build plugins. So I'm not really worried about that. But it's kind of, yeah, it would be nice if this would just work out of the box. Yarn and, oh. And then I think the way we would do this with Vite is that you would, oops. Then you have Babel plugins like so. I'm not sure if we need to restart the dev process. Let's see. Oh. Why did I get that? That's annoying. An error occurred in the app component. So something is not working here. Oh, of course. So counter store increase, counter store count. Let's see. Nice. And now we're also using the new use hook from React 19. So this is running on React 19. And that's nice. Yeah. So we're back on track. It's working with using. This is nice. This is nice. Now, there's another thing. You might be using multiple stores in a component, but we actually don't want to... we don't actually want to create multiple observer contexts. So there are a couple of things we need to fix here. Use store. So when we're creating the observer context here, we should really know if we already have one for this component, or does it really matter? Yeah, it matters because you don't want multiple contexts because each of them would like trigger. So how would we do that? How would we ensure that? Yeah, we can quite easily do that with just a flag. So we would have current observer context. Yeah, I think so. So what we rather do is do we really need to... Okay, we need the store container, but I don't think we actually need to observe until we return it. So we can decide down here how we want to deal with this. So if we have an observer context, and let's call it active component observer context. That's really what it is. So if we have an active component server context, we're just going to return the result store. We don't need it to do anything. Yeah, we'll keep doing this. Let's see. Result store, but it's not going to do anything when it calls dispose. So you will still be using you will still be using, but you won't act. It won't do anything because we use the same active observer context. So here we're going to set it to null again. Like so. This should be fine. So now we have solved consuming multiple contexts, and then it's the fact that you need to use using. You shouldn't forget that. So a way we can deal with that is we can just have did pop observer context. This is a very simple check where we just say promise.resolve, and then if not did console dot is really an error, where you should throw new error. You did not use the using keyword. So this is the only thing that's negative about the using keyword, is that it doesn't give you an error if you're not using it where you should use it. But the benefits are like overwhelmingly good. So having this check here, so we're gonna say did pop observer context true. So this happens synchronously, all of it, and it has to. That's how React works. That will never change. Figuring out what the component returns has to happen synchronously. And whatever you access from signals also happens when you return something from components. So that's safe. So we can do a promise resolve here to figure out, did we actually pop the observer context? So what should happen now is if I forget to do that, if I do const here, you see there's no errors related to this, which is kind of annoying because it does have a symbol dispose. So maybe there will be linting on this, but now we should get like an error about this. Let's say I have to refresh. Yeah, you did not use the using keyword. And maybe I could say something about where it happens. Let's see. So what we can do is so what I think we should do is actually create an error here. Yeah, new error dot stack. Pop observer context. And let's see. You did not use the using keyword. Observability will not work. And then we're going to include the actual stack for this. And then we're going to say this equals undefined. So this can be string or undefined. And then we're going to say if we have a pop observer context stack, we're going to throw an error, and we're going to throw it with that. So when this happens now, yeah, why did it happen so late? Oh, no, now it's running. You did not use the using keyword observability will not work. And then we can maybe do this. And then we actually have the proper the stack from where it happened. So that's good. And then I can act on that. I can change back to using, and now we're fine. And let's just create, we're gonna test that other thing, function other store. Let's just return an empty object. And now we're gonna do using other store equals use store. Other store. And other store, something like this. And let's just see that it called whoop. Oh, but it didn't call that. Why didn't it call that? Oh, we're never assigning the active. Okay, let's see. Observer context equals active component server context. I'm gonna do this and then there you go. Whoop whoop. Nice. So that's why it was like rendering like crazy, because it had multiple contexts, which was exactly what we were trying to avoid. Cool. So that's working now. We have error handling for we have error handling for if you forget to use the using. And you could argue that it should only do this in development, but I'm kind of reluctant to. I'm kind of reluctant to use like the tech development. I'm not sure how actually React does that. Because it's like every time we create, we extract this stack, which is normally completely unnecessary. But I know the most common thing is to like use process env. But I know also that can be an issue with, for example, Vite, because process env isn't available. Like, how do you detect how to detect production mode in a library? Yeah, and this is known. Wonder how React does it. Something else. I'm actually not sure what the best practice is for this. npm library production mode. Best practices. So does it say anything how to publish? Well, Empire could potentially be used in production as well to keep it up. Set up your modern npm package building for both CommonJS. Yeah, I'm doing that. Setting up a blah blah blah. Yeah, that's fine. But what about production mode? How do I detect? Whatever. Yeah, I'm very unsure about that. Production. Yeah. Is there another way to do that that's like more clever? Like we do depend on React. Maybe we can just use React. Check if React is running in dev mode. Yeah, but this is like, this won't just work out of the box. Yeah, exposes content. Yeah. Okay. Import.meta.env. Node env. Mode. Yeah, it's like, it's tricky. I think you really need to do both. Like you need to actually check for import, and then is development. I think you can just have our own. So it should have import meta. This is so annoying. Type of process. Yeah. Or is production. Is better. So is production, it will be that one, or import meta. What was the Vite way of checking it? Prod n.mode or m.prod. Okay, we're just gonna do that. Why are you complaining? Oh. Can I say env in import meta? And This is so annoying. Uh, let's just tsignore on this. So what we can do now is check if we're in production. We should do that. So if production, this stays undefined, or we actually create that stack. Yeah, so, sorry. If not is production, we're gonna do boop. Like so. There we go. Oh, yeah. No. Cannot read properties of reading prod. So if you have made that, I guess we have to do. So if, yeah, this is production or this is production. I guess so. Oh, did we do? Now we had a shit ton of renders again. What happened? Why did we suddenly have so many renders? Just remove that because I'm going to simplify it a little bit. So there should only be 2 renders here. I am confused. What happened? So if I remove the other store, then it's 2 renders. What the hell happened? Oh, is it? Okay. So there's definitely something fishy going on. This was the behavior we had when it didn't handle active component observer context. Oh, of course, this doesn't work. Or does it? No, that should work. So it resolves one store. We create an active component observer context. What? Oh, now it worked. Why does it cause a double render? I'm very curious about this. There is something fishy going on here. But when I add this, suddenly it starts rendering more. No, it doesn't. No, it's consistent. It's when I log it. Oh, I think maybe I know why. Um. Oh, but this is also weird. Because why did it... Uh, I'm not accessing... Oh! No, wait. Oh, of course. Oh my god, my bad. My bad. I know what's happening. It's because of the spread. When you spread, you access all the properties. So we can't use spread. We actually have to use a proxy. Um, but that's... oh, that's so interesting. That is so interesting. Yeah. We have to attach the symbol to the store. Okay, we have to make a choice. Should we attach the symbol to the store, or should we use a proxy? I think it's fine to use a proxy. I cannot imagine that being an actual problem. But it's also like we're adding a proxy for every store consumption. And it is safe to just add it to it, because you can only consume like one component at a time. It's single threaded. It's consuming the store synchronously. So it's safe. What we can also do is like we can remove the symbol. Yeah. We're going to do that. We can actually remove the symbol from the store as part of the disposal. And then we can use that to check if we're already consuming. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so we're gonna do a different approach here. We don't actually need this one anymore. So what we're gonna do is we have this resolved store, and then we're gonna check if I wonder what happens here. Like, what if I'm... Oh, no, sorry. Nothing. No, wait, this isn't gonna work. We need that thing. Active component observer context. And then yeah, but we're still gonna remove it. Yeah, okay. So resolved store symbol dispose. And what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna delete it from the store again. And then we're gonna return the result store. Cool. But here, so we're gonna do the same here. Result store equals symbol. Oops. Like that, but instead of we're actually gonna delete it. So this has different and then we'll return result store. So these are gonna have different. So this is about detecting if you're not disposing it properly. This is about making sure that we track not adding multiple context observers when consuming multiple stores. And then this is just to keep the store context clean. So it only adds this symbol when it's consuming it. It's gone after it's done consuming it, which is perfectly fine. And then we're gonna return the result store. So I'm curious what happens now. Yeah, so now it didn't render again when the timer hit. Oh, we have a bunch of errors. TS ignore. We're just gonna ignore these. That's fine. Can't really do this in a good way. Like so, and like so, and like so. Anyways, so now it does that thing. It updates as we're rendering, which is good. And then let's bring back the, and then other store, like we should see. Yeah, we don't see symbols in this one. Maybe we can open here and take a look here. Yeah, so it's just object. So it's kind of, it should look like this, because when you click this object, you look at it at the point of its current state, where it doesn't have that symbol. So I think this is the best way to deal with it. Like, we have to do a little bit more testing, but this is nice. And then we can add the test back. Wow, that didn't work. Oh, sorry, I didn't suspend it. Can I just, yeah, maybe we can bring it back by, yeah, doing this. Yeah, and you saw that it only rendered the test now. Like, it didn't do another render here, it only rendered test, because that's where it resolved the signal. So this is working exactly as it should. This is great. Happy about this. So I think we're gonna release this. We just need to update the documentation. Oh, we have to fix this one as well. So result store equals, and then we're gonna add you to that store. Result store equals result store symbol dispose or delete. Oh, interesting. And then we'll need to do like a TS ignore thing here as well. I don't care. Library code can't. Oh my god. Great. Good. And then it's the docs. So let's just run through them. Let's make sure we update the version here. Let's do like a 3 thing. It's kind of a breaking thing, but it's still in release candidates. I'll allow it. The docs. And then yeah, now this is the biggest thing. I don't think. Yeah, so we have to make a release first, and then we can actually update the docs. But I don't think SAMPAC supports the using keyword. So that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big problem. So we can't. At least I think so. Let's just release it and then yeah. Move to using keyword. And then publish branch. Great PR. Okay, we're gonna merge that. And then we're gonna move to main. Oops, open main branch. Oh, did it have to? That's interesting. That's interesting. Why did it have to do this again? I was just there on the main branch. Anyways, this, if you don't know, this is like we're experimenting with full VS Code on Code Sandbox with extensions and running the language servers using the VS Code server and all that stuff. But yeah, it currently has some quirks that we need to resolve, it seems. So, does it have the latest version? Yeah. So let's go into Impact React. Let's do yarn build and then publish. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to check to see if it even works. And if it doesn't work, I have to talk to some colleagues so we can hopefully get the using keyword working in SAMPAC. Let's see. So we have an example on the front page. Where is that coming from? Index? Yeah. Let's see. How did I get to the code? Show code editor. Doesn't work. That's interesting. That's a bug for sure. And that doesn't work. That's weird. Oh, there it worked. But I really want to... How can I get to the code? And I always wonder what group. Okay. So I can't edit Markdown. That kind of sucks. Okay. Okay, I'm just flipping back to our old editor. I'm gonna give feedback on this. Refresh. Oh, is it? There we have the docs. And let me open the actual docs file. Oh, we've completely broken it. Ah, that sucks. How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna... Well, the code should be the same. So we should really just go in Playground, Impact React 3.0. And then I can actually try changing it inside here. Let's see what's... let's see what's actually happening here. Cannot find module Impact React. Okay. Why? Didn't I just publish one? One 3.0. I think it's the cache. There's like this. Oh, is that something? Oh, sorry. There's this cache CDN cache for the for packages, and it just can't find the latest version. That kind of sucks. But maybe we can just, I just need to check if it's working. Sampack. Can I just try it here? So if we do const foo symbol dot dispose console dot log, hey, and then we're gonna do using foo. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Isn't currently enabled. Okay, I'm just gonna take a picture of this. I'm gonna ask a colleague about this, if that's something we can get added. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Yeah. Anyways, and I'm gonna send an email to someone who's testing Impact and say that we need to move to explicit resource management. And then, yeah, we need to get those docs running again to actually show how it is to be used. And then yeah, maybe we don't even need Sampack. Like, we can just write the examples without actually running the code. Because I don't think like having these playgrounds, it's cool, but I'm not sure how useful they are. The most useful thing is to like learn the syntax and why it works that way. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're just gonna do a little trick for now. So in the playground here, we're just gonna show the code. So where's the docs? So here we're just gonna change, let's see. Playground. Basically, we're just not gonna run the, we're not gonna have the iframe. Well, this won't work because all the documentation is based on like you trying stuff. Yeah. But I guess it's better that we changed. Oh my god. No, I'm gonna check with a colleague first and then see if we can do something about it. So I'm gonna stop this stream and then I'm gonna take a small break and we'll start another stream where we'll play more with the agent stuff, because I have some ideas and we need to move on with the planning of the workflow. And it's kind of cool. We're actually going to use ChatGPT to create better prompts for oh no, what did I do? Can I? Oh, there we go. To create better prompts for our agents, which is a cool idea. Anyways, I'll see you later.